This is Mahasha Hajin with another video for today. And I think it is time for people to get the general awareness of what is happening, people. Because I think it is more or less warranted within this video. I think we need to all come to the consideration that what is currently happening is not natural. The system, for all intents and purposes, is not sustainable in the way it is being implemented currently. I think that we should all know that, and that we should know from this notion that the system, the way it is currently, is not legitimate. People get this weird idea that we need the system to survive, but rather I like to argue differently. We don't need this system to survive on our own behalf. We do not need the existence of an illegitimate system such as this. For all intents and measures, this system is illegitimate. And here's why. Because when you look at the system for what it is a fraudulent, giant Ponzi scheme of nothing more than it's based upon this notion of fraud, the way it is currently being implemented. Authority has no value. You know why? Because it is an illusion in order to control us. The word government means mind control, people. I hope you actually know that. If you actually knew that to this very notion, then you would understand that in a huge sense, a government only exists to serve those above, not those below. The way this system is illegitimate for all intents and measures because of the way it is. It is the way it functions, and it is the way it is designed. It is designed to break us and to enslave us. We are already slaves of the system, so to speak. We are already subjects. The system is a fraud by its own concept. The so-called concept of authority is nothing more than a mere illusion to beat and bash and blunder us into submission. It is a way to make us subservient to that of the entire system itself, thus making it illegitimate. If the burdens of proof cannot be met, if the demands cannot be met to the people, then the system is illegitimate and must be torn down straight to the very foundations, people. This is widely a misconception among those who do not understand. They think this has nothing to do with the current status quo, with the system, so to speak. But rather, it is that way of thinking that enables the greatest of all evils to virtually go unhindered. It allows injustice to prevail over justice. It allows the wicked and the corrupt and the evil to go about unchallenged and unhindered. Because they assume that they can use the very thing that is screwing them over in order to save they themselves, not knowing that it does not work that way. Not with this fraudulent system, people. We do not need this system because it is based upon illegitimacy for any and all intents and measures. It's based upon a notion of being illegitimate for a great deal of reasons because it is precisely what it seems, people. The system is illegitimate, and it is a fraudulent system based upon one lie after another in order to scam and screw us over. The way it is designed to be. It is designed to screw us over from the very beginning. You know why? Because it's meant to keep us indebted. It's meant to keep us sort of what you would call slaves to the system. We do not need something such as that. We do not need to live underneath something such as this. We can live on our own if we so want or choose. It's on us how we choose it. We can make that final decision, especially in the here and now. And this is something to which people widely mistake for free choice. They assume they have freedom, but rather it is the illusion of freedom that makes us blinded and enslaved, along with the illusion of authority. We entrust our safety and security to a system that does not do any more or less than use and abuse it to beat, bash, and blunder us into submission. This system is illegitimate based upon that notion. And this is widely misunderstood by the common average people within society. This is widely misunderstood based upon the premise that we have already accepted our own enslavement. We are slaves, people. Do not make any mistake. And to otherwise break the chains of slavery, so to speak, will be one of significant challenge. The system is illegitimate because of the way it is currently. It is a fraudulent system in order to keep us indebted and enslaved, to keep us bound, so to speak, in this false way of thinking, this program in which we assume that we have choice, but rather we do not. We do not have any choice whatsoever. And you bet my ass that I am more or less right upon this notion. We do not have a right because, or else we would be able to live our own lives to our own accordance without having some system tell us what to think, what to do, what we can and cannot do with our own bodies, what we can and cannot put within our own bodies, what we can and cannot do. Owl. The way the system exists is to break us and enslave us, and then inevitably exterminate us, because we are nothing more than cattle. We are nothing more than property, and we are nothing more than livestock that are meant to be abused. That's the reality of our situation, people. That's the world in which we live within. And this has been long in the making, but more or less I think it was appropriate to bring this up, because I think it is more or less warranted based upon this notion. This is Mahasha Hajin signing out.